Okay, so here's a little bit about me. I've been a minister ever since I was 16 years old. So I am 34 now. So I've been a minister ever since I was 16. I became a minister, a licensed minister, in 2008. And there's a difference between being an ordained minister and being a licensed minister. And so I became a licensed minister when I was 16 in 2008. Just a little backstory is like I've always had like this relationship with God ever since I was a young age. Me and God been like this. And even when I was young, I used to pretend like I was a preacher, and I would line my toys up, and I would turn my little toy vanity set upside down. And I remember I got my first Bible. I forgot what age I was, but when I was a child, 1 year for my birthday, I got a Bible, and I was so happy because I wanted a Bible. I wanted my own Bible so bad. And so after I got that Bible, and I still have that Bible, but after I got that Bible, I started to pretend like I was playing church. And so, like I said, I would flip the vanity set over, and I would sit the Bible on top of the vanity set flipped upside down, and it almost resembled a pulpit. And I would preach to my toys, and when my little cousins came over, I would make them be my congregation and everything. And so I've always had a calling from a young age, and even though I didn't know what being a minister entailed, it just always felt right. So I went to my pastor when I was about 15, and I told him how I felt. And and I thought that he was just going to be like, okay, well, we'll sit on it, we'll pray about it, maybe make me a minister in training or something like that. But no, he was like, okay, let's get your initial sermon going so that you can become a minister. And I was really surprised about that because I didn't think that's what he was going to say. And I was also scared. I was scared when I told him, to the point where I couldn't even say the words. And so, it took some time, but I was able to get it out. And so then he was like, let's just do it. And so I was like, cool, let's just do it. So I just jumped right into it. And this is a whole long story, and maybe one day I'll make another video on how this whole journey as me being a minister and being a teenager at the same time. We can talk about that later. But I say all that to say that there's a difference between a licensed minister and an ordained minister. Being an ordained minister means that I can do weddings, I can do funerals, and like I could be like a chapel, like I can work in different capacities, whereas a licensed minister cannot. A licensed minister cannot do funerals. A licensed minister cannot marry anybody. A licensed minister cannot even serve communion. And pretty much all you are allowed to do, there's a lot that a licensed minister can do, don't get me wrong. You can still preach sermons and teach Bible study and all that good stuff and lay hands and stuff like that. But becoming an ordained minister kind of solidifies the call, if that makes any sense. You're not minister so-and-so. I'm minister so-and-so now. I'm minister Sabrina now. But once I become ordained, I will be Reverend. Come on. I'll be Reverend Sabrina. And for me, do this process, because and just to back up a little bit, my goal was to never become ordained. Being a minister was good enough for me, but this opportunity fell in my lap because my pastor, the one that licensed me to become a minister, is about to retire. and he wanted to prepare all of his associate ministers before he left. And so a part of preparing us is giving us all the tools that we need to be successful. And so and if one of us ever wanted to become a pastor, you have to be ordained to be a pastor. You just can't be a minister, a licensed minister. You have to be an ordained minister to even become a pastor. So he wanted to equip us with everything that we needed, so just in case, once he's gone, once he retires, that we'll have everything that we need. And so we'll have everything that we need so that we can be successful in whatever we do, whether we stay with the church or if we go out and go somewhere else. We'll have what we need to be able to do what we're supposed to do for God, which I appreciate him for that. It's bittersweet because he's been my pastor my whole entire life. He's been my pastor ever since I was 6. And so now at my big age, at 34, he's leaving. He's like a father figure to me. He is my spiritual father. And so as devastating as it is, he deserves to be retired because he has worked so hard. And I can get emotional about this, but he deserves to retire because he's been great to a lot of people, and he's done a lot, and he's been through a lot. And so I know he deserves this, just like everybody else. You've been on the job for 20 something years. Eventually you're gonna have to retire, and so this is his time. But I am thankful and I'm happy and I'm glad that he is also giving us, I did not mean to cry. I'm glad and I'm also blessed that he is giving us the opportunity to be able to do this, because even though being ordained wasn't on my radar, I appreciate him trying to prepare us for the next chapter in our life. So I appreciate that. And so and I didn't start thinking about becoming ordained until he announced that he was going to retire. That wasn't even a thought in my mind until he said that he was going to retire. And so for me, I feel blessed and honored that the same person that licensed me at 16 will be the same person that ordains me. And so so even though this is not something that I initially planned on doing, we have plans, but God has bigger plans for us. And so I'm just following what God has in store for me, the plan that he has for my life. Starting this ordination journey has been a lot. For me, starting this ordination journey has kind of revealed some insecurities that I've been had, of not feeling good enough, not feeling like people would even care about what I have to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always felt like that. I feel like, even though sometimes I feel like people don't care what I have to say, I still feel God pushing me. I also realize that that's nothing but the enemy. The enemy wants to keep my mouth shut. The enemy doesn't want me to spread the gospel. The enemy doesn't want me to do what God has called me to do. My bad. I had to kind of get myself together. I didn't mean to get that emotional, but like I was saying, I know that the enemy, that's what he does. He tries to get into our brains, and he tries to get to our mind, and he tries to convince us that we don't matter, and that our opinion doesn't matter, our voice doesn't matter. So I want to encourage anybody out there, not just in ministry but in life, that your voice matters. What you have to say matters, and don't let anyone or anything stop you. And I am a witness to that, because even though I struggle with that sometimes, when I step up in the pulpit, something just comes over me. The Holy Spirit comes over me. It's just different. And so I thank God for the gifts that he has given me, and I thank God for being where I am today. But like I was saying before, this ordination experience has brought out a lot of insecurities and a lot of things that I did not expect. And I've also had some self-doubts. There's been times where I've been like, I don't know, is this right for me? Should I even be doing this? But I just feel God pushing me and calling me higher. And God is elevating me in my life. And with elevation, there's, some things have to change. He's going to equip you with all the things that you need. I believe that. That's a little bit about me, but also, and dealing with the humanistic part of being a minister. Sometimes being a minister can be very lonely, because others don't know how to treat you. They don't know how to interact with you. And so you get left out of a lot of things, or you get treated differently because of who you are. And when I was younger, I kind of felt embarrassed about that because I didn't want to be treated differently. And so even though I still have to deal with being excluded from things and being treated differently from certain people, I do thank God for the call that he has on my life, because it gave me purpose. I like to compare my journey to David. David was anointed by Samuel at a young age to become king of Israel. And in that moment, he did not become king of Israel, but he had to grow and mature into the position that God called him to be in. And I feel like I was called to be a minister at a young age, not necessarily to be a minister at a young age, but I'm glad that God called me that young, because it gave me a roadmap. Some people are still looking for, okay, what does God want me to do? And God always told me from a young age what he wanted me to do. So as far as my expectations for these videos, these journals, it's just to chronicleize everything that I'm going through. I'm about 2 weeks in to my ordination journey. I do go to training. We train every other weekend. So we didn't train last weekend, but we trained the weekend before. And that first training was a bit rocky. I was going through some things. I was hormonal that time of the month. And there was some stuff going on that kind of shook me and had me questioning, like, what am I really doing? But as the week went on and as the week progressed, I was able to kind of like reframe how I felt about certain things, and I was able to get back on track and realize that was just nothing but the enemy. This journal is mostly just about chronicalizing, how I'm feeling, what I'm doing, and maybe even showing some of the process, talking about, what actually goes into becoming ordained, and all that good stuff. I plan on sharing, because somebody needs to hear it, and somebody might want to hear it. And so I'm just blessed. I was laying in the bed and I thought about it, and I was like, maybe I should journal this, like video journal it, vlog it. And so that's what I'm doing. I don't necessarily, and I'm the type of person, I am very much an introvert. And so being an introvert, being a minister, and doing all of this is weird for me. But that's how you know it's God, because it's not me. It's him that's working and moving through me. I don't know who's going to see this. Maybe nobody will ever see this. Maybe one person will. If one person gets something out of this, I've done my job. That's it. I'm not in this to become famous, to make money. I just want to chronicleize and document what's going on in my life right now. This is January the 16th, 2026, a Friday afternoon. And I just want to just show everybody what it's like. And I'm also Baptist, so this is a Baptist ordination, and so different denominations do different things. There's a lot of things that we do similar, there's some things that we do differently, and so this is what my Baptist church does to ordinate people. And I just want to have you guys along for the journey. I thank God for anybody that's watching this right now, and I ask God to bless you in the name of Jesus.